Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new then hi, I'd love you to stick around and hit that subscribe button. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my labour and delivery story with Alfie, my first little boy. As I'm pregnant with my second little boy, I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to share with you my labour and delivery with Alfie, as I've not shared it before, and I've had quite a few women message me asking me what happened with my labour with Alfie, so it's the perfect kind of time to film it before I then share my birth story with baby number 2. Let's get straight into the video and I can start sharing with you what happened and how my labour went with Alfie. So I fell pregnant with Alfie when I was 19. I'm now 24 in September. So I fell pregnant when I was 19. We found out in about April, May time I think it was. And then he was due on the 25th of January 2014. By that time I'd already turned 20, so I turned 20 in the September and then I had him in the January. It was a planned pregnancy. Me and Steve were really happy and we wanted to try for a baby, so it was planned. It was a big shock to some people, as I was only 19 at the time when I fell pregnant. But as for his due date, he was due on the 25th of January like I said, but he didn't come until the 30th of January, so I was 5 days overdue. I absolutely loved being pregnant with Alfie, just like I'm loving this pregnancy at the minute. I wasn't nervous for labour, I was excited and I was quite a positive person throughout my pregnancy and tried to be, so that I could try and be positive for my labour and that I could have a good labour, and if I thought that if I was positive throughout my pregnancy then I would have quite a good labour. I planned on having a water birth, so we got to, so let me start from the beginning before I start to go off track. So it was around 11 o'clock at night on the, so it'll be the 29th, yeah, about 11 o'clock at night. I was asleep and I woke up and I'd started to get pains and I started to feel really uncomfortable, and I thought, is it happening, is this it? Because obviously I was like 4 or 5 days overdue at this point, so I was thinking surely it's going to be happening soon, so this could be it. So I woke Steve up and I said, look, I'm starting to get some pains. I don't know whether this is happening or not, and what shall I do? I didn't really know what to kind of do first. I didn't want to ring the midwives too early on with just pains and stuff, because they'll just tell you to, well, like they did anyway. I rang them and I said, I'm 4 days overdue at the moment, and I'm starting to get pains and I'm starting to feel like these could be contractions and that labour's starting to happen. So she said just to try and relax. If they're not so bad and you can bear with the pain at the moment, then try and go back to sleep or get a bath, she said. I went and ran myself a bath and I sat in the bath for a good hour and just tried to like close my eyes and have a sleep while I was there and just relax and try not to think about it too much and worry about it. So by this time it probably had been about 1 in the morning since I spoke to the midwife and had a bath, and then everything started to get a bit worse. I tried to just sleep, but it wasn't happening. I can't believe they tell you to try and sleep when you're in, you're in pain, and you just, the last thing you want to do is sleep when you're in pain and you don't know what to do with yourself. So I rang her again. I said, I'm starting to feel a lot more pain. I was counting my contractions I think at this point, and they were getting closer and closer. So I think it was probably around, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning at this point, and we ended up getting our bags ready and going on to our hospital, which took about 20 minutes, 25 minutes to get there, the nearest one from where we lived at this point. So we got to the hospital and the pain were getting a lot worse. It was getting more unbearable. So she examined me and I was only, I think, 2 centimetres. So nothing was really happening that much. So she sent us back home, which I was absolutely devastated about. And I was like, she can't send us home, I'm so upset, I'm in so much pain. And I was carrying on a big fuss, and I didn't want to go home. I just wanted to be in the safest kind of place. I wanted to be there because it was obviously my first labour and I didn't know what to expect. So anyway, we drove back home. We got home and I was bouncing around on my birthing ball, just relax a little bit and just trying to breathe through my contractions. I can't remember because it was obviously a long time ago now since the actual labour. I can't remember exactly at this point how close and stuff my contractions were, but I remember just bouncing on my ball in the living room, and I said to Steve, I said, I can't, I need to go back. They're too painful and I'm so uncomfortable. I just want to go back to the hospital. So within like half an hour of us being back at home, we ended up just driving back again. So I think by the time we got back to the hospital this time, it might have been like 6-7 o'clock in the morning. So this is on the 30th. Thursday the 30th. So about 6 o'clock in the morning, my mum met us there and Steve's mum met us there. We got back there and I think I was maybe 4 centimetres at this point, or 5, I can't quite remember. But then they got us into a room with a birthing pool. She got me some toast and some water, and I got set up and got all comfortable. I started with the gas and air before I got in the pool while she was getting the pool all ready. Once I started with the gas and air, it made me sick, so then I was sick only once though, but I think it's because I just didn't know what to expect with it and I'd not really eaten anything, so I was a bit sick, and then it was fine after that. And the gas and air is amazing. It worked absolute wonders. It was just like being in another world. As soon as I started taking the gas and air, I was just like in my own little bubble, and I was quite happy and content at this point, and it wasn't bothering me as much. Now I'd actually have some pain relief for it. So anyway, the pool was ready, so I got into the pool. You don't really know what you're kind of gonna be like, or you don't know what to dress like and stuff, and I ended up just being completely starkers and just got in this pool. And I know some women just like put a top on or keep the bra on and stuff, but I just got in there completely starkers, and I wasn't really bothered at all because I was in pain, and the gas and air kind of zonked me into another world. It really worked wonders for me. I don't know whether it's like that for everybody, but I honestly felt like I was drunk. I was just in a complete another world. I don't hardly remember much from this point, from when I started taking the gas and air. Anyway, so I'm in the pool, and I'm still getting quite strong contractions, and things were progressing quite quickly. So it was probably around 8-9 o'clock at this point. Things were getting faster and faster. Contractions were getting more close together, and then my waters broke in the pool. They hadn't broke, so they broke in the water, and they found out from the waters breaking that Alfie had done a poo inside me while I was in labour. So at this point, everyone was stressing, and it was all got a bit rushy and panicky, and they had to rush me out of the birthing pool because they were panicking that if he would have to swallow some of this poo, this mucousy poo, it can be really bad and it can stop them from breathing and things. So it was all a bit chaos and stressful. I got rushed onto a bed, and I got rushed into another room where there was it's really a very big blur. Like, the gas and air honestly sent me into another world. It's really strange how much I don't remember of it. I remember being wheeled down the corridor and being quite upset and scared about this, because I think I'd heard discussions of C-section and stuff because of him doing a poo, and they were panicking because the labour was progressing really quickly and it was all happening quite fast. Anyway, I got into this other room and it was full of doctors and nurses and midwives. There was just loads of people in there, and it kind of scared me a little bit. I was really getting upset and stressed, and not long after that, I remember saying, I'm ready to push, I need to push, he's coming, and I know that I can feel that he's coming and I need to push. And they were saying, no, you can't be ready to push, there's not a chance. And my mum had to leave the room because my mum was getting upset and stressed about it, and she had like a funny turn because she was seeing her baby in such an awful situation and not being able to do it for me and help me, so it kind of upset her and got her a little bit upset and stressed. So she ended up having to go out of the room for a couple of minutes just to pull herself together a little bit. And I was saying, I was adamant that I needed to push because I was ready to push and I felt like it was coming. So I told them and I said, I'm ready to push, and they were okay, if that's how you feel. So I had the gas and air and I was pushing, I was on the bed, I was only on my back at this point, which is not what I wanted. I really wanted a water birth. So I was quite disappointed that it all got a bit out of hand and a bit stressful. But other than that, everything to me, it was all going really well because it was happening, it was going quickly. I wasn't in bags and bags of pain. I didn't have to have loads of pain relief. Like I didn't plan on having lots of pain relief anyway. I only planned on having the gas and air. That's what I wanted, and I'm glad that I did just stick to that and had just gas and air. It makes me feel really proud. Not that it's a bad thing if you have loads of pain relief, but I said that I wanted to do that with just gas and air and the birthing pool and stuff. So I was really proud of myself for being able to just do it with the gas and air. So anyway, I was pushing him and his arm was like this. So it was quite a difficult way of him to be when I was trying to push him out. So he did come out like that. So I ended up tearing a little bit. But he came out and it was the best moment of my life, and despite everything that happened, it was just the most amazing feeling ever when you see your little baby that's been inside you for 9 months and he's just there, and it's just perfect. It's like the best feeling. All the pain and the shock and everything just disappears, and he's just there and everything's just in a little bubble, and it's just amazing. But they had to rush him off to just a little monitor thing just to check that he could breathe properly because of him doing a poo. So I didn't get to hold him straight away, I don't think. But it was just a big blur because I had been sent like into another world with the gas and air. I was very dizzy, and I remember my legs being really shaky. You know, like I was laid there and I just had him, and my legs were just shaking like crazy. I just couldn't stop my legs from shaking. They were going crazy shaking. But then eventually I got him on my chest, and it was just the most amazing feeling and just so perfect to have him there, and it was just exactly what I wanted, and it was just perfect. He latched on straight away and I breastfed him, and it was instant. Like he did it straight away, and it was just the best feeling because that's all I wanted to do as well. And then Steve got to hold him, and my mum and Steve's mum, and it was just the best day ever. We got to stay in that room for a little bit. I had a shower and got myself cleaned up a bit. And yeah, we just stayed in our little bubble and enjoyed just staring at him and just thinking, wow, that's our little baby. And it was just the best day of my life. And I'm sure that when baby number 2 arrives, it's going to be the best day of my life as well. I just want to be really positive about it again and hope that everything goes really well. I hope this time that when I go into labour, I can actually have a water birth, because that's my plan. I'm hoping that he doesn't do a poo like naughty little Alfie did. I was only in established labour apparently for 3 hours, which is quite a quick, fast labour for your first labour. Like I said, it was very stressful and scary towards the end because it was all happening so quickly. I think it scared Steve a little bit as well because he didn't know what to expect, and bless him, he was just like he was scared as well, because it's a massive scary thing, like my mum going off and having a funny turn. It is a massive deal, and it is quite a scary thing to be in, and if any of you watching this that have already had a baby, then you'll understand, like, it can be quite a traumatic experience, but it is also a beautiful experience and the best thing ever. It was £6 14 ounce, and it was just the perfect little tiny little baby. I'll try and add some, I've not got any footage or anything of it, but I'll try and add some photos in of my labour and stuff if I can. They're on my old laptop, so I need to try and recover them from somewhere. But I hope you've all enjoyed watching it and finding out what happened in my labour with Alfie. I'm really looking forward to sharing with you my birth story with next baby, and I'll definitely be videoing lots this time, so there'll be plenty of footage for you to see, and hopefully I'll be able to capture it all, and it'll just be really exciting. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye!